Hello and welcome. Of course, I am not completely done. Give me a second. I will appear in a second on your screen. I'm just trying to get my cam on. There I am. Welcome, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good everything. So, better. And let me see, yeah, works. You don't see too much there. So, perfect. Welcome. Hello, Rayan. Seems to be that you are at least one of the very first. So, I'm still arranging a little bit. That's why this is called my Shakira. Welcome. This is called my what is this called? My intro thingy. So, Damas, welcome. Hello. Good to see you. I'm still setting a little bit up. I could have delayed it more, but I hate to delay at all, so I promise I'm working on getting more reliable with the starting time, because it annoys myself. It's not like I see this casually. It annoys me that I always have to push it back a little bit. Jesse, paint your picture. Liana, welcome. It isn't a Buffy stream without Liana. Although I know that you have only 1 hour time. But thank you very much for stopping by. So, Dana, Shakira, Liana. It's already a party, I would say. So, give me a second. I need everything on screen so I can actually draw. Okay, I think I am prepared. Not everyone was there at the beginning. I will just change back for a second to my countdown and then back to the drawing, because I put a little bit of effort into this, so everyone should have been seeing it. I'm back in 5 seconds. I actually started with the complete intro, and then I thought might be a copyright issue. It might be a copyright issue with this, but truth be told, it's 3 seconds. We will see. And if it is, I can still delete it from the stream afterwards. So, yeah, that's a very good question, Liana. Has everybody seen it? I'm not sure. There are a couple of people that probably, I hope they will drop by, but iTech was also was interested in watching and discussing. He did give us proposals for the character to draw. So let me do a quick intro, because people will be also seeing this afterwards, so they should know what is happening here. Probably they're already skipping to a later part, because I did not start with the vital information in the beginning. But if you are new here and are watching this later, we have now, and this is the very first session we have started the Buffy Club. So everybody in the course of 1 week is viewing 2 episodes. This is of course because the first, we will be starting with the first 2 episodes, or we have started with the first 2 episodes. So everybody is required watching for the stream. No, you can also come if you have not managed to watch them. But ideally, you have prepared by watching the first 2 episodes. And then, even more ideally, you are a member of my Discord. And there I have a Buffy section, and you have, at least you were able to propose somebody that should be drawn, the MVP, so to speak, of those 2 episodes. So the person that you think is most important. It can be a villain, it can be a victim, whatever. So who is important? And then we will vote. More or less, it's not like I also have to see if I can get a picture that is even usable for a portrait. So I cannot promise that every time the character with the most votes will be the one I draw. For example, if we in very near future we'll be voting for a giant insect to be drawn, I won't draw the insect, for example. So I have a veto right. I am the one that has to draw this. So yeah, but that is the modus operandi. Then we will come together in every week, Friday, this stream, this time, a little bit earlier. I was late again a little bit. And we will be drawing the character. And we will be discussing the episodes. So if you have... It is... minor spoiler safe space, please. So don't spoil the people too much about what is coming. I would say minor spoilers, like I would even say sentences like don't get too invested. No, don't. That's, for example, don't say about a character, don't get too invested in this character, you won't have him for long, or her. Don't say things like that. Because that is not nice. People let people suffer the way everyone suffered the first time they watched Buffy. But minor spoilers, like for example, what is very common with the Buffy series is that characters are recurring characters. There are a lot of characters recurring, and coming and going and coming again, and so. We won't expel you if you say, oh, this is a recurring character, if a character appears for the very first time. I think that is something that can be said, but just be careful. Common courtesy. Okay, but other than that, we can do this however we want. If somebody wants to show, for example, their own Buffy artwork, I can open it up and show it to the group. You can also post something on the Discord, and I can include it into the time-lapse video that will of course also be released every week of this stream. Yeah, I think that's it. So let me see, what have you discussed? Has anybody been listening? Yes, I couldn't get on my Disney Plus. Don't tell something on the record that somebody gave you something that you should not be able legally to acquire. Yeah, I think, Liana, you have watched it often enough. Danas, I've seen all the Buffy episodes a long time ago. I guess you need to rewatch them. Yeah, that is the thing. I think most of the people that are coming here have seen the complete series hundreds of times. I have started rewatching it actually, I think in the beginning of this year. I came up to episode 5 and then I just stopped for some reason. Now this is kind of an organized watching. So you have people that will be watching with you. Ideally, Danas, you will join the Discord also. There is a channel where you can give yourself the Scooby Gang role. Then you will have a nice green color, and you will be informed via this ad principle that you have on Discord for all the information and upcoming information. I will, for example, post after this which episodes to watch with an announcement and stuff like that. So the other people that are not that interested in Buffy on the server will not be disturbed by hundreds of messages. I will keep it very few messages because I don't like overuse of those ad messages, of those push messages. So I will keep it to a certain minimum. It will be a little bit more for the Buffy club. So join the Scooby Gang on my Discord. Okay. Gives me an excuse to rewatch it. Exactly. And if you are lucky, it just released on Disney Plus. Let us perhaps start again a little sentence, because at least Shakira is somebody who is new to Buffy. The Discord. Yes, give me a second. I will just post the Discord because it will then also be available to everyone that is watching this stream at a later point in time, because the chat is also replayed just like the video. I will just take this new link and post it in the chat. So if you're not part of my server yet, this is the link. Lainey, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. This is the link to the Discord, and yeah, join the Scooby Gang, and let's start the discussion. How do you expect us to talk about the episodes if we can't talk about the episodes? You can't talk about the episodes, but not upcoming episodes. So don't, for example, if our dear Jessie that we will be drawing wouldn't have already been dead at the end of the second episode, but in the third episode, I would expect you to not say, oh, wait until episode 3, then we are rid of that little bee. So something like that, you know? Speak about the episodes, but not upcoming episodes. Yeah, if you misunderstood it, there is potential that other people also misunderstood it. So thank you very much for the opportunity to make it right. How to say in English? No matter, we will start now. So, discussion open. So, especially people who are new to our good old Buffy. Tell me, how much do you love the first 2 episodes? Shakira. I'm not sure, is anybody else new here to the Buffy world? Just clarify? That's boring. Okay, clarify. So I have to open here again. There is a delay that will, in this more interactive way of talking about the episodes and stuff and discussing it with you, calling you out, of course, always. That's what I'm here for. It will annoy me to death that there is a latency like that. But you also have the typing latency, so there is a setting actually that's even less latency, but I don't think it really matters that much because there's at least a latency of you answering. So yeah, I will try to work about that. Yeah, I was about to jump on Shaq too. Yeah, it's if we have somebody who hasn't seen it, that is ideal. At least one person that is admitting that they haven't seen it yet. And Shaq, you are not exactly a shy one in chat, so that's perfect. I was sucked in on episode 1, I must admit. Yeah, I have to say, and that in the very beginning, I think I can already start drawing. Let me say 1 second. The templates will be very difficult to pick. You see here, for example, there's no hair and something, because I was just really lucky to find finally in episode 1 still, I think, a frame where I could, there was no way to find a picture around in the internet, so I had to grab one from the episode directly, and there was really not a lot of choice. There was 2 or 3 that I could have taken. I need a certain quality, and the quality even in HD version of Buffy is not so great. So I took this one. And this is about what we will always have ideally, because this is actually not that bad. It's better than I expected, but it's really big on the screen, so you don't even have the complete hair. It's not like I wanted to draw his complete hair, so this is fine for me, but we sometimes will have a different framing of the character and the heads than we normally have. I have taken for this one, I think with the Buffy club episodes, we will have more often than usual the gray paper, because I think it somehow fits, especially with darker pictures. And our good old Jessie here, for example, there is this light streak here, but everything else is really dark. And I will save on pencil when I take the gray, because I would have gone everywhere very dark and just this little area white. It could also look interesting in white. I chose now gray. Let's see how it works out. So, you can't hear right now. Don't worry. It's totally fine, Lainey. Many questions. Did you like the characters? Did you dislike anyone? Is interested out? Can we one question at a time? I actually was thinking about if we do something Shakira when you are here, that is something we can actually talk about and think about, that we have a enter questions to everyone in this channel on Discord, and you as the moderator would then take questions one at a time when we say, okay, next question, and put them in here so we don't have too much of a chaos. But we're not that many people yet. We will be hundreds at the end, so we need that then. But I think we are fine for now. Let's try it like this. Bob, welcome. Yeah, and we can start like this, and then we will see, and we will adjust as required. I think everyone is having fun yet. I can answer one straight up. Angel is definitely still hot. Okay, that question is answered. So, what I was... No, let's perhaps start with Shakira before I swamp you again with my own opinions. So, yeah, it's not like Liana and I have discussed everything about Buffy already. We will always find something new to discuss. Welcome, Bob, and thank you very much for joining, even if not for the longest time. Bob, I think you should also draw something Buffy related. I haven't seen you yet with something Buffy related. You can combine aliens and Buffy if you want to. I think there are comics, Buffy, Alien. There are alien comics with everyone, Batman, Superman, so there probably is also a Buffy Alien crossover. Okay. Shakira, how do you like the look of the characters, the fashion? Isn't it great? One thing I notice every time, and it gets worse and worse, of course, when I rewatch Buffy, is how old-fashioned their styling is. It is really old-fashioned. You notice that often with TV shows, not that much with movies, I have the feeling. So movies tend to age later, if that makes sense. I like most of the characters so far, though. I don't like her mum or that popular girl, Cordelia. Spoiler, she will stay with us for a long time, so get used to her. So that kind of spoiler, I think, are okay. Oh, by the way, if we were talking about Angel, we could, for example, just say, I don't bite. You know, just so we have a little bit of interaction. And I've added a couple of those. Okay, I will start drawing now. As always, I will be starting a little bit with the... I'm saying a little bit, a lot, I have the feeling. I think we can do a little bit counter or something. I shouldn't have drank coffee. I'm a little bit hyper. By the way, he's so young. Yeah, and Mrs. Summers, is she named in the first 2 episodes? I think that's not a spoiler that she's called Joyce Summers, so let's call her Joyce. I don't hate her. What you always have to think about is she doesn't have it that easy. She's divorced not that long ago, I think. I'm not sure if they say when, but it's not that long ago. And she also had to uproot everything, and that's because of what Buffy did. She did it because of vampires. They don't know that, but still. I think she also deserves credit that she doesn't completely... she could be very different to Buffy. She's very understanding and not confining her somewhere, even though Buffy set a gymnasium on fire. Oh, by the way, if anybody is new to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we have the short version provided by Giles.
The Slayer hunts vampires. Buffy is a Slayer. Don't tell anyone.
Always good to have a little reminder of what we're talking about. Hello Mo, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We are having our very first Buffy Club stream. Talking about the first 2 episodes of Buffy and drawing a character. By the way, I have to also introduce that, I think, also if somebody is watching this later. We are drawing Jesse today. He would have been a member of the Scooby Gang if he would not die directly in the first 2 episodes. Because he is a good friend of Willow and Xena. So he would have been a member of the Scooby Gang, but instead he is the reason why the Scooby Gang is created. I mean that Buffy and Willow and Xena get together to fight the evils. Without him, that would not have happened, probably. We don't know. It could have been happened. Have been happened. You know what I mean. She can't help but wish. Never use the word I wish. We have to wait a couple of... second season? I don't know. Yeah, ominous foreshadowing and spoilering without spoilering. I won't be able to stop. That I will probably do. But it doesn't really spoil. It just comes across as very annoying and arrogant. And I will try to minimize that. But it will happen. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly, Liana. So, so we don't like Cordy, don't we?
Excuse me, I have to call everyone I have ever met right now.
She is the archetype of the high school it girl / bully, isn't she? So she's really the high school queen, and I don't think anybody in their right mind likes her really like. They might like the character or what she represents or have fun with that character in context of the series and the series world, but I don't think anybody really likes her and would say that is the girl I want on my party. So it's understandable that you don't like her. What do you think about Giles? Oh, in open question. What is you guys' opinion about Giles in context of the very first 2 episodes? Please don't start talking about his character arc. Also, not really a spoiler, Buffy is all about character development and growth and stuff, so the characters you have right now, they will change and they will develop and they will meet other characters, so that is very big and important in the Buffy world. So also Giles has a lot of development, of course, over 7 seasons. If you wouldn't, that would be very bad and lazy writing. But don't talk, please, about that. No, you can, Bob. Come on and join. Join us. We're not a cult. So that is what this is all about. It's not just for, that's why I'm very adamant about spoilers. This is not just a place for us crazy people who have or are watching it for the millionth time. It's also for people who have not seen it yet and want to discover it. For example, if you could, I can't suggest that you would put Vitani in this early of a stream, Shock, but I think it was 16. It was for 16 and up, I think, the series. But I think it's although there are still, that is not really gore or something like that. Really minimal gore in comparison to other series or other things that you can watch today. But I should start talking a lot. I don't even know. This is, for example, I don't have details in the eye at all. I just have. I will, to a certain degree, I can invent stuff, but I'm not actually a freehand face drawer. That's not what I do. That's not what I can do. So I just have a smudge for the eye. It is a bit darker in here, of course, although it's the white of the eye, a little bit dark. And then I have the eyelashes, which is not really, you don't have defined eyelashes here in this picture. I will still invent them as a little bit of, he has pretty long eyelashes. I will invent a little bit of detail into them, because as I always tell when I draw, that is important and gives it more of a lively feel. But this is all I have detail wise for the eye already, so I can talk a little bit more, because I think the picture, I might eat my words at the end, but the cap is back. I just see the delayed stream here on where I have the chat. Then I am hiding everything again. We might be pretty fast because I don't have much detail to draw, so I have a little bit more time to talk. That wasn't creepy in any way. I'm never creepy. But if you don't know Buffy, this is the gist of
The
it.
Slayer hunts vampires. Buffy is a Slayer. Don't tell anyone.
So I cannot put my stream deck here full of millions of quotes. So if you like any of those quotes I have used, for example, I know that Liana will probably vote for this one.
The Earth is doomed.
If you like a certain quote very much, you can tell me on the Discord so I can add it to the permanent list. I will have to delete some of them because I have 5 now already and I cannot add and add and add. I won't find anything anymore. So if you like a certain quote, or if I missed a quote that you like very much, and I should add it to the permanent, or at least a semi-permanent roster of quoting for the stream, let me know. There are a lot of quotes. Buffy is full of quotes. There's also no detail in the eyebrows. We can add a little bit of structure in there to make it seem more like hair. The same with the hair. No, I will just invent something. We will see. We will see. This is just for fun, isn't it? Giants, yes. Rating in Germany was 12. Yeah, but I'm not sure. In US probably also 12, right? It was not that bad. Tanya isn't interested in this sort of thing. Let's skip over that. He's so adorable, nervous in the beginning, Giles. Yes, that is. And the cleaning of the glasses. We should count the cleaning of the glasses. And the accent. Yeah, the English accent. What do you guys think about English accents? And in that context, does it still work for somebody like Giles? One of us. You just made me disappear down a rabbit hole there, Liana. One of us. And it's in loads of things. So, again, I have to draw. If I don't draw, I won't have anything at the end of the stream. Another thing that I noticed now, again, I also noticed that in the past, but it also gets worse and worse, is the quality of the music in Buffy. You have the bronze scenes, for example, with the live music. That is always, it's good, it's great, it still fits. It doesn't even come across as that old or something, but the background music, the synthesizer music is terrible. It's really terrible. There are really good orchestrated music later in the series, cropping up from time to time. Still not everywhere. And the quality of the music gets better, but especially in the first season, the music is not good. Opening music is beyond all reproach, perfect, everything, of course, but I think you know what I mean. So, the Earth is doomed. People, talk with me. I have asked about 20 things. You have to react, that's the deal. If not, I have to draw. And I want to discuss. So as I said, the hair, for example, in the eyebrows, we have to invent. But we can be pretty sure that he has hairs in his eyebrows. So we could just give it a little bit of a texture. And then continue with the shading. Also in the shading we don't have that much detail, so we will see how it turns out in the end, but thing is it doesn't have the best quality, as I said already in the beginning. We are working with very old material. We don't have really detailed pictures, and also our Jessie here is very young. Of course, all the actors were in their middle 20s, I think, when they were playing 16-year-old persons. I think today they would cast closer to the real age. It was a thing at that point in time. Also, the OC California cast, where this actor actually also played a role. A recurring role, not a major role, but a recurring role. He had more episodes in OC California than he had in Buffy. And they were also really old in comparison to what they were supposed to be. So, but he's very young, and that means he does not really have a lot of blemishes. He has a very smooth skin. So we'll be done pretty soon, I think. That's why I'm not worried yet, although I'm starting to fall behind. We watched The Prestige last night. That is a weird movie. It's a good movie. I liked it. It's not a movie that I went back and revisited, truth be told. And it has its issues. It's not like a masterpiece or something, but I liked it. And Hugh Jackman, right. Hugh Jackman's always good. Who was the other one? I don't even remember. So we selected. I started to explain that, I think, but I stopped. We voted on the Discord, and there were only 2 people nominated for the very first 2 episodes. I drew already Buffy, so I was thinking people that have seen that probably won't nominate it directly again, because it would be, for the premiere episodes, pretty obvious, I think, to take Buffy or somebody, at least from the main cast. But we had 2 people that were nominated, and that is Jesse and Luke, because they both don't appear later and they both have pretty important roles. And so that our good old Jesse here brings the whole Scooby Gang together. His predicament that he lands in during the first 2 episodes. So he is an important character, although not really very fleshed out, not very interesting in himself. Not the fault of the actor, by the way. Yeah. No, wait, give me a second. We need another pen. Went to see Hugh Jackman in concert. Wasn't too far away from the stage, which was great. Hugh Jackman in concert? Does he sing? Right, he sings. Yeah, I know that. He was also in Les Miserables. Don't kill me for asking that as if I don't know. I know that. But concerts? Is he really giving concerts? I did not know that. Please still don't kill me. I haven't seen The Greatest Showman yet. I want to, and I just announced to my better half that I will watch it by myself, because there is not. We can't find a date when we want. Or we can't find a time when we want to watch it both. I want, so I will do it. Liana, 1 person is allowed. You can visit me and watch it with me if you have a babysitter. Or I would, although I want to have my audio system. No, I want to have my audio system. It has to be here. Christian Bale, exactly, yeah. That's him. He doesn't do that much anymore, does he? At least not what I've been watching. We love The Greatest Showman in our house. Didn't like The Greatest Showman. I have not seen it. Can I just bring her? Can't I just? I wasn't talking about her being there, yes or no. I'm talking about I was about to propose that I come to you guys to watch it, but I want to see it on my audio. It has nothing to do with the little one. Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-doo. I'm not sure how this will turn out. Bad quality of material. Sometimes I'm somehow also not feeling very good in terms of productive today. So I think I have a drawing slacker day. Not sure if that's something. You guys who are also drawing here in chat, do you know the feeling when you start something and from the get-go don't really feel like this will be a good picture just because? I'm having that right now. But we will see. It doesn't look terrible right now because there's not much that could look terrible. But also it doesn't. Actually, it looks pretty decent, I think, for not being there much. I'm not really talking English sometimes. I should make a donation goal English course. If I ever make money with this, I was thinking about getting an accent coach to teach me better English. You know, those crazy thoughts one sometimes have. Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron dancing together. Fans are sad. Yeah, I have to watch it, and I have to watch it soon. I really want to. I feel like I've missed something. I'm especially a lot of good music, or at least fun music, that I probably would like very much and listen after that for days or weeks on the kitchen radio. So I have to watch it. Just know. And I don't have to wait too long, so get back to me whenever you think you can, Liana. We have to watch The Greatest Showman. We will find a date and time. So, how much head am I showing to you again? That was the best part. That was the whole lot of hotness in one movies. Yeah, so what didn't you, don't spoil obviously, but what didn't you like? Didn't you like the songs? Didn't you like the story? And then we should talk about Buffy again, I think. You know? I think I can start to talk about Buffy anyway, to use that delay we obviously anyway have. I think one of the special things about Buffy that directly at that point in time when somebody was watching the first episodes, what really stand out was that the very beginning, just the opening sequence, where the normal damsel in distress turns out to be the predator, and that is a surprise moment that was pretty unique at that point in time. It was done later, copied by other episodes or other series and movies, a little bit different to play with the expectations of the viewer, but this was one of the first times something like this actually happened. This turnaround, this playing with the expectations like that. So does it still work? Shuck, I will come back to you this as a first time viewer. Does it still work? Is it still a surprise and a what the heck moment? Because I think that was one of the first you saw it and were thinking, what is this? I have to continue. What kind of sorcery is happening here? I did expect something else. Thank you, Danas. Yeah, I think my English is actually not bad, but sometimes when it's good. I have good English. I have a lot. Sometimes when I hear myself later, even already while editing, I think I leave some of the stuff just in there. But very first time I am rewatching it, I already find grammatical errors and stuff. But I'm not a native speaker. I won't change that because that's a lot of work just for an easy grammatical mistake that everybody will directly hear and understand what I mean. So I have good English. I know that. I'm not fishing for compliments. But still, sometimes I have a very thick, not all the time, but sometimes I have a very thick accent, and that annoys me sometimes. When I'm speaking like a Bond villain, it annoys me sometimes myself. So sometimes I'm thinking, yeah, I want to get rid of that accent. No, this is right. For a second I thought I did an oopsie. By the way, if somebody is new right now, and Lee, welcome. We love the villain voice. Yeah. Thank you very much for dropping by, Bob. Thank you, and see you next time, I hope. Have fun with the movie. If somebody's new here right now, this is what I normally do. Let me start the slideshow. We are having our first issue of the Buffy Club right now. So if you are a Buffy fan, or if you have never seen the series, come on and join us in rewatching the show. Obviously, for legal reason, we are not watching it online. We are not even watching it on a server, Discord or something. Everybody watches by themselves, and then we come back on the Discord and nominate a character that was very important for those episodes we have seen. And we will draw now I will attempt to draw that character in this live stream. And we will talk about our experience. We have some newbies here. Shak in the chat, for example, has not seen the series before. It's her first time. So we have the first timer a perspective, and if you haven't seen it, you don't have to feel bad or something. There is always somebody else that feels the same way and explores the Buffyverse for the very first time. Nobody is judging. And yeah, just join the fun. Come and join also the discourse, so you can elect the next character to be drawn. So yeah, hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much, Mo. So exactly. So, and support everyone here in stream. Most of them have also channels. So Mo has a fantastic channel. Danas has a fantastic channel. Yorkshire Puts Gaming, if you're into gaming, don't miss out on that. Bob is already gone, but he also has quite interesting digital art on his channel. So support. We have it difficult enough in the art YouTube community for not supporting each other. Did that make sense? I think I mixed two sentences and two things I wanted to say. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. By the way,
The Earth is doomed.
I might overuse that button. Perfect. Welcome, Danas. You can give yourself the Buffy role, the what's it called? The Scooby Gang role. There is a channel where you can just react with an emote, and then you get automatically the Scooby Gang. roll, and then you will get all the Scooby Buffy. And of course, if any of you guys know somebody that is not here or doesn't even know the channel but might enjoy, is a Buffy fan, or somebody that should be watching Buffy that hasn't watched it yet, now is the time. This is the perfect time to start with it and just forward the link. Advertise, advertise, advertise. The more the merrier. And also, if you don't like to interact with chat, if you're more of the silent type, you are also welcome to just sit and listen and read what everyone is saying. This is he has a bit of a bedroom look, and I'm not reducing that. But he looks also a little bit goofy. So yeah, I know, Liana, thank you very much, but continue watching, have fun. Yeah, so I think it directly just gets interesting just by adding the white. You know, I like working with the gray, and I think it was a good choice to use it in this case. Makes it actually also a bit easier, because I would have shaded a lot if I was just working on white. And in this case, I just have a lot of, well, not a lot, but some places where I can use the white pencil to really make it a little bit more lively. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that. I'm not a professional artist, but I'm mixing a lot of materials here. You know, this is actually a normal colored pencil. Of course, I have the lead. I won't be using gel in this one, but normally I also have gel. This is pastel. This is Blackstone, so I'm just mixing everything. Sue me. I think it's okay. I just like using stuff. If I have something that fulfills the job very well, why not use it? I have to be a little bit careful that the shading here does not look like a mustache. That can very quickly happen. And this comes from a time where mustaches, at least in TV and so on, were really not that often. I think you've seen it on dads and grandparents, but not young people. There weren't a lot of condoned beards. You won't see a lot of beards in the Buffy series. And I don't really like beards, although I am almost bearded myself for a whole long time already now. But it's more of a convenience thing. Aesthetically, I don't really like beards. Might be because I'm still stuck in the Buffyverse. Mary, welcome. Hey, how are you? I really don't know how you can chat and draw at the same time. I think I couldn't do it. I think I'm not sure if I explained it to you, but I'm a bit strange in that regard. I explained in one of the earlier chats, I'm not really thinking about what I'm drawing. I'm not planning. I think it's different for yourself because you are drawing a lot of very intricate designs and stuff like that. And I just recreate what I'm seeing. So that means I don't really think about what I'm doing. I let my hand just draw. My head is not really influencing my hand. My hands just work by themselves. And so my mouth is free. And also, I'm after all just rambling and just saying stupid things. Not very articulate talking because I don't have my full brain for the conversation. So sometimes I'm just saying stupid things because I'm concentrated on drawing, you know? And that is okay, I think. What are you working on lately? You're talking with Mo. Okay. Mo works on fantastic things. Who likes beards? Nobody likes beards. Yeah, I'm fine with being strange, you know? And I'm not strange for being strange, for the being of strangers' sakes. That sentence doesn't make sense, but perhaps you know what I mean. Some people just, I'm strange, and it's all their MO to just say they're strange, and in the end they're not really strange. So I'm not that strange. But I accept that I'm not normal. So it is pretty easy actually to draw on this white pencil with darker pencils, but it is practically impossible to draw with this impossible to draw with this white pencil on black. So I can just go all in here and just add a little bit white, and now we'll be drawing the hair and shadow over that later. But I would not be able to shade this all and then just add the white. I would have to use the gel pen for that, or erase what I've drawn in black and add the white. So I don't have to be careful when I'm using the white pencil. I have to be very careful if I'm using the black, where I could also need perhaps the white. Obviously I won't be using the white here, so I don't have to be careful. I have to be a little bit careful because all of the black pencils I'm using on the gray are actually not that easy to erase. Resin. I love resin. I have a couple of... Right, you've been working on some resin pieces. You, Mo, are a resin expert, so tell me what I'm doing wrong. I have not at all ever managed to mix my resin in a way that it actually becomes cured. That it is really, you know, that it... For example, I have done a couple of resin pieces. There are records of that on my channel. I don't find it right now. Well, I have it here. I love my coasters, you know, colors changing coasters, but this was just paper on top of it, and it sticks to it. It's not like the paper, it's the fault of the paper, it is the fault of the resin, unfortunately. So it ruined my more or less pretty beautiful coasters. So what I'm doing wrong, I think I know, but I think I am using not enough resin, or I'm using it in so little amounts that I'm not mixing it correctly. You know, I'm just using about 30 milliliter of resin or something, and I think in that, with those amounts, it gets really crucial to have the right relationship of the two different components of resin. And I think I'm just using the wrong components of resin, the wrong relationship because of that. I never really hit the sweet spot. I think that's why. But if there are any tips, then make it. Or if you have a video, you can also point out if you have made a video instruction or something. Just point that out to me and I will watch it. And I probably just need a better. I'm using a kitchen scale, and I think that is also not precise enough for those little amounts that I'm doing. I think the amount of it all comes back to just not being very much resin, increasing the risk, you know. So, my coasters are fantastic, but they destroy themselves with time. That is the thing. I've experimented. I am actually planning to do something else with resin. I have actually also bought now UV resin, and that works. Obviously, it works easier, but not for everything. You need to be able to shine a light on it, so you cannot use it inside stuff or whatever, or too big chunks. That one, of course, I managed to cure, and I'm planning a new project with resin. But I have still lots of regular resin, and I'm a bit afraid by now, because I really have tried a couple of times and always failed. I've actually calculated if it would be a business idea to make those coasters and sell them on Etsy or something, but it is not. Too expensive. Nobody would pay that for a coaster. Perhaps a limited edition at some point. Altek, welcome! Welcome! Altek is somebody also on my... He has a gaming channel. If you guys are interested in gaming channel, Altek is also your guy. Don't miss Yorkshire Puts and Altek in that regard. But he's also on my Discord, which is a smart decision. And he also proposed Jesse as the person to join. Together with Luke, but Luke is an idiot, so we don't draw Luke. Now, also because Jesse is the reason why the Scooby Gang comes together. And that makes him somehow pretty important in hindsight. Not that he's mentioned that much later by anyone. Not even sure if he's ever again mentioned. Does anybody know? Is there some mention anywhere in any season later at any point in time? Measure, yeah. I put it on a scale, and I think it was 20 milliliters. Or in that case, gram. Do I have to measure in milliliters normally or in gram? Because a kitchen a scale obviously measures gram, and I was also thinking perhaps one of those components is much lighter than the other, and I should have taken liters or milliliters, not grams. That could also be a reason, but I'm not sure. How long are we already streaming? Let me see. We are 1 hour in. Okay, we are good in time. We are very good in time. I can talk. This is actually fun that I can talk a little bit more. It's an easier picture. By design, the Buffy Club is more of a talkative thing. I have to be careful that I don't get too dark here though. I have to lighten this up again a little bit. I won't get into time trouble too much, and as always I will finish it after the stream anyway if I have to. If you're new here, let me show you other stuff I have been done. He's mentioned, I'm not just sure where. Luke almost wins. That is true. He is, but I also had him that part, but it was too long, so I did not add it in the end to my buttons. You know, where she in the end throws. I think that's very funny when she says, "But you forgot something. What? The sunlight." And then she says, "Which is in a couple of hours, dummy," which would have been such a because. I think when I saw it for the first time, I was already thinking, oh, what a plot hole. How can it already be sunlight? And then they used it. That moment, you know, where the viewer might think, oh, what a big plot hole. And then it turns out it wasn't a plot hole. It was on purpose. And realistic. So I thought that was really fun. Measuring and mixing is key. Yeah, I think the very first time when I was using it, I also did not mix it enough. I did not take that seriously enough. Oh, this is good. Let me show you something. Isn't he just adorable? I have this guy for, and it wasn't that far away from when the series has come out, you know. He's cool. I love him. You can measure any way you choose. They just have to be exactly equal parts, or they won't. Yeah, but that is the thing that I mean. If the liquid is very heavy, then I could not use gram because I would have different amounts of. If you're using water and milk, it's about the same, obviously. But if you're using resin and water, the same weight of the liquid, you would have a lot more water than resin because resin is much heavier, you know. And I'm asking myself if one of those components is just very heavy and the other is very light, so that I would use 10 grams of this and 10 grams of that, but in milliliter it would be a huge difference, you know? That's what I mean. But I guess the components are not that different in weight, so that is probably not a factor. But I probably need a better scale. He's dusty. Yes, that's true. I have actually tried to undust him a lot of times. He loves dust. But he's old, you know. The master is old. I have to bathe him, I guess. So just that, of course you can also start, if you are watching it for the very first time and you just love it so much, you cannot stop, then of course just watch more and more and more and more and more. But we will continue with a certain amount of episodes. If everyone at one point says we want to have 4 episodes every week, of course we can change that also. We will be on with it for quite some time. And as I said, also, if you know somebody who could have fun with this, who might just want to join in the discussion here in the stream and on the Discord, please, of course, forward it. I would never say no to that. All of you who have channels know that word of mouth is more or less the only way that you can actually grow anyway, so but I would appreciate it very much if you would forward it to somebody that could be interested. So he's awesome, yes he is. Correct hardness heavier than the part A. Still gets mixed at equal ratios, but I usually measure in ounces. Yeah, I don't measure in ounces, but that is not an issue. But I still need a better kitchen scale, I think. I need a new kitchen scale anyway, so I would probably just get a little bit of a better model, and then hopefully won't have any issue anymore with the curing. So let's see. I need this here. So he has a very different non-standard position, but this is a very... You can almost see that it is from a movie scene or a TV series scene. This is not a normal position. You normally have people in photographs. It's a very... how do you say it? Not moved. Dynamic. It's a dynamic pose he is in. You see that there is a lot of movement going on in that scene. And that makes it not exactly more easy to draw, but anyway, I am always a fan of draw what you see, not what you know anyway, so it's not that different actually. This is the part again where I'm rambling a bit when I'm saying I'm drawing. I'm concentrating a little bit, but I am also talking a lot, and my mouth does not have full access to my mind. And then sometimes such rambling things come out, which make kinda sense, but just kinda. Also, some resins require 1 part to 2 parts hardener. Check your container directions. Yeah, I've checked that. I double checked that. I tested again, but it still did not turn quite hard. So I guess it is the amount that I'm really doing, making really small amounts just. And then 2-gram differences already have a big effect, and it just doesn't get hard. I guess it's just that. So I will get a better scale. And then I have to play with it again, because it's really fun. Resin is magic. I still want to do so much different things with resin. I was at some point I was planning to do a lot more crafty stuff on my channel, but still with my ongoing recovering from my condition, which also took a little bit longer. It still takes longer than I hoped it would. It's just so much easier to do something seated, and so I'm a little bit stuck still to portrait drawing. But at some point I wanted to do more diverse stuff. As I also said in the video I made and released for about Anne Reardon, how to cook that. She does so many things with her channel. It's a cooking channel, but she's debunking, she is miniature cooking, she does so many stuff. She makes giant versions of candy bars, of Kit Kat or whatever, and is then giving them to people who are doing good things, stuff like that. Just so many diverse things, and I kind of want to do stuff like that. Perhaps even cook, perhaps even show you my favorite recipes. But I think as long as you are a small channel, you shouldn't diverge too far. Diversify your portfolio too much. I think that's the privilege of the bigger channels, that you can experiment and do more stuff. I mean, it's not that diversified to do a lot of resin stuff now. You're doing that too, Mo, and it's not that different. So I don't think that it's really an issue. But I cannot health-wise right now do too many different things. So, what do we think? It's a bit boring, but it's not the most exciting picture we're talking about. There's not that much detail in there. It's young skin, it's very smooth. With the hair it will get a little bit more interesting, but I think this is already pretty okay. It's going good. Thank you very much, Mary. Didn't even watch that. I launched into self-criticism before I even saw that you wrote something. I think it's okay. So, yeah, if you have just come into this stream and or watching it later and are jumping through, we are having our first Buffy Club meeting, where we are drawing a character from Buffy and talking about 2 specific episodes. In this case, the very first and second episode. Discussions have a little bit slowed down, but that's to be expected. So, in the very first 2 episodes, you have Buffy, the main character, obviously, introduced. There was a movie, but we don't speak about the movie. For example, also do you have flying vampires in the movie, but it was too expensive to have them flying in the TV series, so they did go with non-flying vampires. So there are differences. They more or less the origin story is the same, but it is more like a Buffy from a parallel world. They have actually, that is a minor spoiler. They have a later episodes where they show a little bit of a flashback, not of the burning of the gymnasium, for example, but some other stuff. So that lets you think that it's probably more or less a parallel universe and not really the original burning and of the gymnasium, as you can see in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, of course, watch it, but please don't hold it against the series. It is pretty terrible, and Joss Whedon also agreed to that later. So it looks awesome. I thought early on it was really looking like him. Thank you very much, Lainey. Dana, thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you very much for joining. I'll take it. Looks very much like him. Thank you very much. So yeah, the short story of Buffy is this.
The Slayer hunts vampires. Buffy is a Slayer. Don't tell anyone.
And so, yeah, they all meet. And Jesse here, the person I am drawing right now, is more or less the reason why they come together, and the original team of Buffy, Xander, and Willow come together. Because they want to save. So Buffy anyway would have been drawn into that conflict, but the vampires selected a couple of people and also Jesse and abducted him, and that is more or less the reason why Buffy starts hanging out with Xander and Willow. So he is not really mentioned later anymore, once or twice, if at all. But he is important. Without him, we would have a different team. Perhaps Buffy would have started hanging out with Cordelia, and Cordelia would have become a vampire slayer. Which is, by the way, obviously not a thing. She would have not become the Slayer. There is only one Slayer. And that's definitely not Cordelia. But, you know what I mean. So, but I think we are ready, more or less. I have a little bit still to do here, but then I can't procrastinate anymore. Then we probably have to go into the hair, which will... I'm not a fan of drawing hair. You have heard it 1,000 times from me by now. If you are not new, I hate drawing hair, but in this case it is especially hideous to draw because I don't have a lot of detail in it. It's just a black blob. I have to invent the hair, and it is a 90s hairstyle, so it is not just this hair. There's a lot of gel in there, and the wet look, and yeah, we will manage. We will manage.
The Earth is doomed.
So, how do we do it? It is very dark, so I could probably just go all in with the dark pencil, but I don't think that's a good idea. So let's start just here with the locks that he has ongoing here. I actually like the hairstyles from that time. Some of them are very funny. If you look, some boy bands of the 90s have very funny hairstyles. But for example, this, I think you could walk around like Jesse does also today, and it would not really look really noticeably old-fashioned. I think where it becomes really old-fashioned is the one second, a light stopped working for a second. We will get that up and running again. The combination of clothes and hairstyles is what becomes quite old-fashioned in Buffy these days. I have no idea how the hair goes here, so let's just assume something. I'm not sure that it will work out. We'll probably just shade it. Let's just shade it. It is very dark, and we will just completely ignore detail. As we don't see that much of the hair anyway, I don't think it's a big problem. Still, it's a bit disappointing to not include a lot of detail. So we have shadows here from the hair that break through this light, and as I said, you can draw pretty nicely on the white, not the other way around. So you can just shade a little bit of the hair, shadow on here. And then I will really just think, let me see. I think we can get a little bit of detail here. It is gelled back. The hair is gelled back, so we know. Pretty straightforward, just streaks. So we will have to shade here in that regard. So then we will add some streaks here with a really dark one. It gives a little bit of structure and three-dimensionality, so it doesn't just look like like a black smudge, you know. Then we have a couple of hairs standing out back here. Here we can see some of the locks, so we will just try to recreate them. And as I have described with the Professor X in the Professor X video, we have to be a bit careful with the very rough style we are using here. Something like, for example, the ear could lose its structure, its definition with the hair, so we have to give it a defined edge, so that it does not get lost in not the detailed shading. It still has to look like a defined object, a defined entity, not just part of the hair cloud we are drawing here. So here it goes then back into this shape. So this is the general structure. We should sharpen it a little bit so that we have a little bit of definition there. Just by having a couple of defined lines. And of course different pressure so that we have a little bit of an effect. Different structures in there so that it gets more of a three-dimensional effect. I was thinking about giving it a hard edge. I'm thinking about, you know, defining a clear rectangle. I will think about doing that in this one later, perhaps. I don't think it needs it. I think it's very obvious that he is not like something where I can put in an egg or something, you know. I think it's pretty obvious that there is something more going on. Yeah, and then we have, as always, the question, how much of the clothes will we put in here? As we have a very big face, it wouldn't be that difficult to add a little bit of the clothing just for shading in there. I would just let me just take the shapes for now. Just some shapes here. Should I have actually drawn this with white, because it is. Let me see if I can fix this. Probably not. Well, it's erased. I can draw over it a little bit with this one. So yeah, this is actually much more interesting visually and truthful also to the original picture. Yeah, I think I like this. This is cool. I love this white pen. It is pretty fun to work with it. I have another, if you are interested in that pen, I have a link for Amazon, at least Germany and UK. But you can, from the description, also find it, of course, in your country if you are living in another country. I have a link to those in other videos where I'm using it. For example, the Buffy one. In the description, I have information about all the pens I am using. Yeah. But I think we could go a little bit more for contrast, as always. I haven't used that much, and I haven't put too much pressure on it with the darkstone this time, because I did not really know how far I could go. I would just lie, for example, right now with much darker eyes. We should have something of a dark contrast here in the ear, because that is actually one of the darker parts. Thank you very much, Mo. Thank you so much. I think also it is for the amount of detail I had available and the time I put into it right now. Let's face it, it was not really that long. I think it's very decent. It is decent. So I think this is a bit wrong. I need to be a little more. Might have destroyed the better, I think. I have to check that out. I'm not sure if I made a mistake now there. That's also, if you don't stop in time, you start making it worse. Yeah, but that is probably it. A little bit here. A little bit more darker here. Rusticated Art, thank you very much for dropping by. Just a quick visit, looking fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for dropping by. I'm really happy that you made it. We're almost done anyway, so don't you worry. Thank you very much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. We have started with a Buffy club. I'm not sure if you know that series. It is from the 90s. Some of us have already seen it. Some of us are looking it for the very first. again watching it for the very first time. And we, on our Discord, then select a character from those episodes, 2 per week, which is a standout character, the MVP, more or less, of the episodes. And then I draw it and we discuss those episodes here on stream. So that is what we are doing right now. What we did, for that matter, because we are pretty much done for today's stream. So as a recap, 2 episodes, Welcome to the Hellmouth, and I think the second one is called The Harvest. We selected Jesse because while he does not survive the first 2 episodes, he is the whole reason why Buffy and Willow and Xander start saving the world together. They try to save him, and although they failed, they continue to do so as a team because they have grown together in the process. Kind of PSD, more or less. And yeah, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you very much, Mo. Ikra, welcome to the stream. We are about to close it. So, exactly, that's why we took him. That's why we drew him. He is now drawn. I will also, as always, see if I have to fix something or add something when I look at it with fresh eyes during the weekend. We will have a time-lapse video of this drawing then on Thursday released. On Monday you will have the time-lapse of the picture we draw the day before yesterday in the Wednesday stream. If you are interested in Buffy, if you know the series, if you want to see it for the very first time, you can rewatch it with us. It is, for example, in most countries, not all of them, but most countries, available on Disney Plus since last week, this week, I don't know. And you can watch and rewatch it there. 2 episodes at a time each week. We will now start with the episode 3 and 4 of Buffy. So if you are part of the club, please start now watching those episodes, ideally until next week, Wednesday, when we will start on the Discord the discussion who is the most interesting, important first time appearance or whatever character in the 3rd and 4th episode of season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then we will start drawing that on Friday and see you all then. The Discord, let me give you the link again, so you can find my Discord. Thank you very much, Mo. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rusticated Art. Yeah, so, and this is it for today. As I said, come join the Discord. Let's discuss over there more Buffy, and of course also all the other topics. You can post your art and everything. And yeah, this is it for this stream. Hope you had fun. I had fun, and I am pretty happy with this. I'm always, with these kinds of perspectives, I'm always not very happy with this area. And also he has a very, very slender face. Is that how you say it? He has a very particular head shape. You see that if you see the first episode. It is very, very slender. So it looks a bit strange. I'm not sure that I'm happy with it, but I will fix it. I'm sure I will. But I should stop now because I will probably ruin it. I need a break, I guess. Yeah, so Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you. And I'll see you in a later stream. Up until then, go watch my videos. Thank you very much. Tell other people, everyone you know that might like Buffy and would like to join, send this to them. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.